started your career in music in a band, Eminem. But can you remember the moment that you decided that you wanted to perform as a solo artist?
Before I started the band, Eminem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I always considered myself a solo artist, but I was lucky enough to meet a really good DJ, and we started a group together, DJ Exile, and I guess for 10 years we worked solid, making hip-hop music, but I had the opportunity to do solo music, and with Stone's Throw, Peanut Butter Wolf heard some music that I was doing with Ono, and he signed me, so I got to do my solo work.
Okay. What did it brought you that you can use now?
Well, I learned how to perform on stage, I learned how to write songs, I learned how to produce and make beats, and make music. So, and I learned all the business that is involved in music, from engineering and creating the music to releasing and distributing the music, merchandise. I learned the whole business game, music business game.
Between this new album, Good Things, and your first solo album, how did your point of view on the whole music change? Or did it change?
Yeah, it changed a lot. Actually, it changed to the point where it's like, for me right now, if I'm going to be making music to sell, then that means I'm in the music business. And of course I'm making art, and my first goal is to make legitimate art that's genuine with a message. But at the same time, you know, I've elected to be in commerce, in the music business. So once the music is done and it's good, then I'm going to work on trying to promote it, market it, and sell it, which is of course why we do this interview, you know. But at the same time, having a point of view of making music to create some change, not just for the sake of being famous, but for actually helping people. And that's why I named my band The Grand Scheme, because really our plan, our plot, if we can accomplish our goal, is to create happiness, create joy, whether it's with the music or the live show or the money that we make that we can use for good things.
And what kind of good things?
Good things like, I'd say helping the homeless children. You know, one of my friends has a parent who runs a youth facility. This is for a shelter for homeless youth. This is the kind of thing that I think about. Kids that never had a chance to grow up happy. I want to give them a chance. Also, reducing the amount of pain in the world is another way of potentially creating joy with money. And if I can use my money to help influence or affect capitalism in some way, create more conscious and compassionate consumers, help influence more compassion in the corporate side of things, then maybe we can reduce the amount of negative effects on ecology, negative effects on culture and society, and areas that we don't pay much attention to. Where do we get our minerals from? Who is it affecting? That kind of thing.
Yeah, you were talking about a shelter for homeless people or young kids that don't have a chance, but are you already spending money in projects like this, or does it have to wait till you make more money, for example with touring and this new album? Or is it already happening now?
It's not already happening now. I think it'll be best served when I can actually create my own shelter. But for now, I spend my time making the good songs, making good music, affecting society in a way that helps me build my profile and have that kind of influence to make big, massive change.
Yeah, because you were talking about genuine music. What is genuine music? When is music becoming that?
Music made when you make it just for the feeling you get when you make it.
For yourself? For
yourself, for the people that you're with. Genuine music is made specifically for the feeling that you get when you make it.
Okay. And you always get it when you listen to it?
If you feel good when you make it, then the people will feel good when they hear it.
You were talking about change, but do you really think that you can change with your band certain big issues like capitalism? Because eventually capitalism is also the way you make your money with your with
Oh
your
yeah,
music.
yeah. I don't want to eliminate capitalism. I think that's impossible. But I want to change it to make it more compassionate. And it's happening already in small scales. I think that I can help influence it. We have corporations that are moving towards more green types of programs to help the earth, but a lot of them are faking. They're not really doing it. But if I can infect capitalism with compassion, if I can get corporations and business owners to think about the life cycle of their products, where they are developed, how they're developed, what cultures and societies do they affect. For instance, there are companies that are buying carbon credits in the Amazon. They're buying big plots of the Amazonian forest, and they're using this as almost a purchase of guilt. They're saying, well, we create so much pollution that what we're going to do is be sure we buy some trees that offset this pollution, and it will balance what we create, the pollution that we create. And that's not really true. What you need to do is stop creating pollution and reduce the amount of pollution you create. Buying trees doesn't help. Saving trees doesn't help, because the main issue is that humans and plants alike are going to be affected by any amount of pollution that you create. So if I can be in an interview like this, which possibly could help other people understand the situation a little bit more, maybe we can eventually affect the mind state of the next businessman. He may be watching this interview right now.
And when does the music come in this subject?
And the music potentially could have lyrics that talk about it, just like, Marvin Gaye says, "Mercy, mercy me," fish full of mercury, and he's singing about ecological issues in a lot of his songs, political issues. I do the same, but not all the time does it have to be in the lyrics, Sometimes it's just a matter of writing a song like "I Need a Dollar," becoming very famous, and then having interviews, and I get to say it there.